two parts. Jack Spade back here with you, High Noon Leatherworks, for another leather adventure. And today I'm going to do a project and start with a handmade pattern for a custom billfold to keep my cash. So come on in and let's get started. Alright, sorry about the glare coming in through the window. Hopefully you can see alright. But I want to take a regular US bill and make a custom billfold out of this. I've got some, it's probably 4 to 6 ounce pre-finished leather that I'm going to use for this, and I also want to incorporate some canvas material that I have. So we'll see how that works out on the next video. But today's video is going to be how to figure out how I want to cut these dimensions and what I want this wallet to look like. I think what I want it to do is fold over lengthwise so I can stitch it here on these ends, and I don't have to stitch all the way across at the bottom. So I can make this twice as wide as I need it, or deep as I need it, and then I can fold it over in half. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a look at the dimensions of this bill, and the actual dimensions are 6 1/8 by 2 5/8. So you can look dimensions up on the internet. You'll come up with all sorts of dimensions. I have found in doing things like this before, you want to make sure you give yourself plenty of room, because once you start stitching and everything, it really starts to close in really fast on you. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, if I make this 8 inches, then when it folds in half, then it's going to end up being 4, and that'll be about the right carrying size for your rear pocket, or my rear pocket. So let's go ahead and just put this on my grid here, and we'll mark it 8 inches. And then remember, I want to double what I go up this way. So let's make that 3 1/2. So that would be 9. No, 3 1/2, 3 1/2, 7, not 9. Where I got my math from. So let's make a mark at 7 and 7. And then I'm going to go ahead and mark the center at 3 1/2. That way I'll have my folding marks on there. So let's go up the side here and do my eight-inch. Then I can do my 3 1/2 and 7. And on the 3 1/2 where it folds, I'm going to use a broken line. That way I know that's a fold line and not a cut line. So there's the main part of the billfold. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. And I'm only cutting on the solid line dimensions. Then on the broken line or the fold line, I'm just going to take the back side of a pair of scissors and score that. The only reason I'm doing that is so that that score will make it very easy to fold on that exact line. So there's my perfectly square pattern. One thing I do want to is I want to round these corners off just a hair, not a lot. I've got, let's see what I've got here. Yeah, got a little hole, a little over 1/4 inch probably in this ruler, which will probably do just fine. Because again, I just want to barely put a round corner on that. So it's not going to take much. So there I've got just a little slight rounded corner, so it's not a hard pointed edge. My next step is that I want to take a card of some sort, like credit card size, and figure out on the inside how I'm going to do a card slot in here. Now, if I sew this up on each side, then I'll have to put something on the inside here in order for that to slide cards in. And I want one on each side. So these are 3 3/8. So it's not going to leave a lot of room. So if I go 3 3/4, from each side, that's still going to leave me a 1/2 inch in between for that to fold. So I think that'll work. And then I don't want to bring them all the way out to the top. And that would be 3.5. So let's just go 2 3/4 because these are 2 inches, so that'd be plenty big enough. So we'll go 2 3/4. And that'll be the height. Now the tricky part of this is going to be the stitching. So there's what those pieces would look like. So I've actually got to cut me a pattern for those 2 pieces. And that'll be my next step. So 3 3/4. I need 2 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. So I'll mark it 3 3/4 wide. Go ahead and draw that line. Then I'm going to go up 2 3/4. And really, I just need one of these patterns because I can cut those pieces of leather off of the exact same pattern, so I don't need 2. And then before I cut this, I'm going to double check my dimensions. That's 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. So there's my inside piece. That will go here on both sides. And it'll be stitched here, possibly right here close to the fold. We'll see how that goes once we start putting this piece together. And then those cards will slide right in those pockets. So this will actually be open, this corner. So again, I'm going to do the rounded edge on that corner, and all I have to do is flip it over when I use my pattern on my leather for my 2 pieces. So there you can see the rounded edge. Now we'll go in this top center. So that's what will open up, and your cards can slide in there. And I'll have one on each side. And then this will close up, and then it'll fold this direction to go in your pocket. So let's go ahead and mark that. And if you recall, that was 8 inches. So we'll mark it 4. Again, it's going to be a fold, so I'll use a broken line instead of a solid line. again, I'll use the back side of my scissors to create a score. For my fold. So that would be the finished size of the wallet to go in your pocket, with 2 inside pockets. And again, I'm going to try to do this with minimal stitching. The leather that I'm using, again, is pre-finished. It's dark brown, what I would call like a chocolate brown. And the canvas that I'm going to try to incorporate is a army green color. So it should look pretty good. So there's my full pattern. And again, just to recap, the width of the actual main body is 7 inches. By 8 inches. And the fold is half of 7, so 3.5. And then the card inserts are 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then there's the main piece. So there's all the pattern that I'll need. Alright, so I've got my pattern for my custom made wallet. It's going to hold my bills, the card holder. Those 2 will go, I'll have 2 inside. That'll hold my card or cards, and then it'll fold in half to go in the pocket, the rear pocket. So there's my pattern. Next video will be actually cutting all those pieces out, putting it together, and we'll see a final project. So appreciate you coming along, watching, and as I always say, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.